So in this video, I'm gonna go over the body tension session. So as with any of the intentional climbing sessions, we wanna approach this with a mindset of focus and curiosity and try and explore the skill that we're trying to acquire in its depth. And that skill is body tension. But the drill that we're gonna use to explore that is quite simple. It's called pinned hands, pinned feet, and then body tension boulders. So first off, pinned hands. Hands go into one spot, 10 foot. All right, so quite simple. Hands stay in one spot, and then you do 10-foot moves. Pinned hands, if you have a mirror board, I like to swap the hands I do just so I'm not getting a asymmetrical fatigue on my hands. So now I'm gonna do pinned feet, and then I'm gonna repeat the pinned hands and then the pinned feet again. So pinned feet is exactly like the pinned hands, except you choose 2 footholds and you stay on those and do 10 hand moves. So I think it's good that that happened because, you know, it's not always going to go perfect. But that's a good thing. It means you're challenging yourself, right? You don't want to be doing moves that are so easy that you succeed 100% of the time. So as you can see, for rest periods, I'm doing around a minute rest. Like I said, can't be perfect all the time, but the goal is to try. Trash. Trash. Awful. Garbage. Yikes. Well, that was really bad, honestly. But I'm learning too. Yeah, normally if I cut feet like that, I'm just gonna drop and try again. But for the sake of this video, I just tried to put my feet back on a few times and failed. All right, so I've just rested a few minutes and now I'm gonna do the body tension boulders. So for this drill, we're gonna pick 3 climbs and do them with absolute body tension. No cutting feet, and therefore they should be a bit below your flash grade, because oftentimes when you're climbing hard, you have to cut feet. You can explore the grade range a little bit. Try climbs on the upper end, and try climbs on the lower end, and you'll find that they're all maybe equally useful. They just will assess a little bit different skills. So yeah, That boulder had a lot of interesting foot moves. I noticed a few times I placed my foot in a place that wasn't perfect, and I was worried it was gonna pop, and I could have just campused through, but I decided to try and keep the foot, even though it was like on like the side of my toe. And that's just to give you like a little bit of an idea of what I'm kind of noticing throughout that process. I'm gonna rest another minute or two, throw up another boulder, and do that for the 3 boulders. So for the sake of time, I'm not gonna put that in this video, but I hope you enjoy this session. So I wanted to provide a little bit extra feedback on how you can elevate this drill as you get better at it. So a lot of the time, in order to maintain body tension, we have to move slowly. And that makes sense. When we're focusing on doing a high velocity movement, it's usually hard, and therefore we have to focus a lot on pulling and hitting the hold with our hands, so on and so forth. But what can be really useful is to try and maintain body tension while moving fast. So a great drill for that is to basically do a climb 3 times. So you can replace the body tension boulders at the end with this. You pick a climb, and it should be around the difficulty range that the first time you try it, you can't do it without cutting feet. And the second time you try it, you maybe can do it without cutting feet, but also maybe not. And then the third time you try it, you could finally do it without cutting feet. Just to be clear, I recognize that it is very hard to get that difficulty right 100% of the time. It's just an ideal. And when we're doing these moves, you want to play with where your awareness is. So ideally, this move should be hard, right? You should be reaching relative extension between your foot and your hand so that it's not really easy to keep the foot, because we're testing body tension at speed. We're testing body tension at the rate that you would normally climb, on the size of moves that you would normally climb. And, you know, if you just focus on your hand, there's a pretty good chance your foot's going to come off the wall. And if you just focus on your foot, there's a pretty good chance you're not going to hit the hold. So trying to balance where your awareness is, in your foot and in your hand, and when you switch between them, because oftentimes mid-move you're going to have to change where you're putting your focus, is really kind of the underlying thing that we're working with when doing the body tension at speed drill. But yeah, so I would recommend trying the body tension drill, the normal body tension boulders, and as you get a bit more advanced with it, as things start to make a lot more sense, moving slowly, try and elevate it and try and bring this body tension drill to a higher level.